One of the greatest things about working on this film, the Esrog, has just been to see the love and devotion every single person who's been working on it has had for the project. And anyone who's walked in and seen what we're doing is so amazed, and it's so beautiful, and I'm really excited to be bringing this out to the world, and I hope it will really reach far out and deep into people's hearts and souls and really have a great impact on the world.
You can feel like your art and your work comes from the heart, and I think that's where it's really important.
I wanted to take the Baal Shem Tov stories and show people exactly what they can attribute into their own life within these beautiful stories and these morals, and how those attributes can then bring positivity and growth to them as people.
There's going to be 9 stories of the Baal Shem Tov, and each one is going to be connected through narration. And we're bringing them alive through animation and voices and music. And you get to experience and go into those actual stories and see those actual stories unfolding.
Let me tell you a tale of David.
So we're making the next movie of the 9 Hasidic tales. It's called the Esrog. And this story speaks about a man called David, who for a long time really wanted to buy a beautiful Esrog to serve Hashem, to please Hashem for Sukkot.
50, 80. Hashem, you have been good to my family.
There's a huge crew behind the scenes, and it goes into costuming for the little dolls, it goes into voice acting, it goes into lighting design, it goes into painters, and our crew is just filled with great talent, and everyone from the closest friends to family members to newbies and interns.
We all kind of have our focus, but we're all working as a team, and I think that's awesome.
Come closer, come closer. These Esrogans are the cream of the crop, the yellowest, the bumpiest Esrogans from here to Israel.
Doing the voiceovers is tremendously fun and a total distraction to the entire process.
I have to go to the market. I'd like to purchase it.
David, what are you wasting your time for? You know you cannot afford such a delight. Please, put that down before you ruin it.
But he did nothing but laugh, make us laugh, paint a lot of stuff. He animated a couple of shots, and he made us laugh, and he was the jolly merchant.
Everyone in town knows you can barely feed your family. I feel wrong taking your money for even this meager Esrog.
Is this enough?
Whoa!
Oh, is this enough? Ooh. It's basically like, oh, now you're talking a different story. That kind of, oh. The times that you're not laughing when you're doing voiceover work, you might be really frustrated because you can't pretend enough. So we take those voices and we cut them into all these different pieces and put them exactly the way we are to make a sentence sound perfect. Even though an actor may perform that sentence perfect anyway, they may take a little bit more of a breath than we want, and so we'll cut down that little breath. Then we go and we write all these little tiny numbers of how many frames each letter sounds like. When you say the word you, it lasts for a certain amount of frames, and we have to write those numbers down. And then those become our frames. And then we have the dolls, and we gotta build these dolls, and we build these dolls out of little wire, and then we put clay on their heads, and then we paint those heads after we cook them in the oven, and then we sew them, and then we stuff them.
When you do stop motion, you have to move something 1/4 of an inch at a time. So you move it a little bit, you take a picture, you move it a little bit, you take a picture. And for the most part, what I build doesn't move. But we do have a few moving parts, like doors opening and windows opening. So I have to think about, can Todd move that door or that window a little bit at a time?
We do a bunch of little drawings called storyboards, and with those storyboards we create all what the picture is going to look like in our heads. And then we're going to change that stuff too, because we get more imaginative and more creative as we go on. What's kind of cool about making stop motion with miniature tiny little things is that we get to be like giants, so we're super huge. But then that also means that a little tiny piece of lint that might come out of your pocket is actually huge. It would look like a giant ball of hair this big on a character's shoulder. So we have to always use our giant eyes to look down and find the tiniest little things. I can take houses apart and get my camera in any angle possible.
I build them so that the walls can come apart, so the whole house comes apart wall by wall. So if you're shooting, if your camera angle is this way and you're shooting from this angle, this wall has to come off. But then if you're shooting them from this angle, this wall has to go back up, and then that wall comes off.
It's really amazing. I feel spoiled as a director. I get to just obsess over each angle. Well, Thomas is just an object of perfection when it comes to working on this kind of work. You get this whole universe of ideas from Thomas Schaefer. We have an editor. Oh, Mark!
Every second is important. Every second has had tons of work put into it before me or Todd even get to edit it.
To be able to have someone who has a great eye to work on those final photographs that we've taken and to place them where need to be and to manipulate them and understand the frames and how rates move and how to clean animation and then just how to do the After Effects magic. It's actually beautiful.
As we keep telling stories, we're going to find more and more interesting ways to present them. So I think that the technical aspect is going to get more and more advanced. Natan really knows these stories, and Todd really has the visual ideas, so they're a good team.
My job as the director of the 9 Hasidic Tales is to be an all-encompassing vision. Everything has to be created and made, from clay to wood. Everything has to be envisioned.
Each person is an entire world. We have a lot of power and strength inside of us. So we have to sometimes take these deeper teachings and we bring them down to a more basic level through these stories.
The Baal Shem Tov stories are thick with these lessons, and to extract them and to be direct about that moral, and to bring Jewish folklore, this folklore of Judaism from the Baal Shem Tov, and bring that into everyone else's work. That's what I set out to do.
The Esrog has just been such a beautiful project to watch and see how it's come along. I feel we're bringing something new to the world that really hasn't been made in a sense, and it's a very special thing.
Yeah, Holyworld Production.com.